What's up, guys? Welcome back to one more episode of Askamentor. And today we have Mr. SOVAN PANDA to answer your question. So, before I put the question up, I want to tell you about why we do what we do. Now, Askamentor is all about answering the questions which are relevant, which are troubling the entrepreneurs, and these questions which can take the entrepreneur to the next level. Now, why we do it, why we do these episodes is because these small ideas, these small problems could be fatal, could be costing a lot of money. So the reason why we do this is to help the entrepreneurs who might be on the verge of making mistakes, so that with this advice people can avoid making those mistakes. So saying that, I put the question up for Mr. Sovan. So the question is, what is growth mindset?
Okay. So the question is, what is growth mindset? Now, let me tell you, growth mindset is not something which can be covered in a uh, in a single session. So what we would do is we will break it up into different parts because there are multiple different reasons and the ways in which you address the growth mindset. I will focus on maybe today only the two most important. Okay, and let me start with those two. Now, moment I look at any startup and I ask them, tell me how many customers, how many paying customers that you have. Okay, and most of the startups they say that we are still not there in the market. We are still trying to figure out what do we do next. Okay, and even if some of the startups say that yes, I have paying customers, then ask them, do you have at least 5 paying customers? Okay, and again most of the startups say no, we have one or two, maybe we have just piloted to one or two customers. Some of the customers are not even paying, but we have not reached there, right? So
Hmm.
this is how I understand what the startups are going through, and then I try to figure out as to why this is happening. Okay, and then start categorizing a startup into three key buckets. The first bucket of the startup is where a startup says that yeah, I want to do something, I have an idea, I want to solve some problem, but if it succeeds, good. If it fails, I'll go back to my job. So
Hmm.
that's category A, right? Now, category B, what is category B? Is there are startups who are looking for funding, okay? And they want funding because every startup is getting funded. Now, they come to the startup world thinking that I will get funding, so I don't have to put my money, right? I don't have to put my stake. So let somebody put money on my company, my startup, okay? And I will then figure out what to do next or how do I execute my startup. If it succeeds, good for everyone, right? If it
Hmm.
fails, anyway, it is not my problem because I have not put my money, so they have not put skin on the game, right? So majority of the startups fall into these two categories, category A or category B, okay? Or at least startups would have been in this category before they actually become serious, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now what is third category? Category three is where a startup says that come what may, I'll make it happen. It's my business. It's my baby. I know. I want to do it. Okay. Irrespective of whatever happens. Okay. I want to make sure that I succeed. I will make sure my startup is successful, solving a lot of people's problems. Okay. Helping my company grow, helping all the people who are associated, they grow. So this is the third category, right?
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
first very, very important key message here is if you are talking about growth mindset, you have to figure out in which category you belong. Are you in category A, B, or C? Now, category C is the startup which actually starts making a lot of revenue. They start growing, they expand, they grow. Okay, the customers' acquisition is very high. They are happy. The customers are happy. The investors are happy. Okay, and they are focused on making sure that they grow on a continuous quarter-on-quarter basis.
Got it.
So,
Got it. Right. So basically, now what someone is trying to explain here, guys, is now when it comes to growth mindset, it's an entrepreneurship is all a mindset game. Now, how what kind of mindset do you bring to the table? Now he's trying to define how one can identify a startup with what type of mindset, and what determines the growth of the startup, right? So on.
Right. True. So now let me try to explain the whole thing in little different way. If we draw a triangle, okay.
Mm,
Now on the bottom of the triangle, most of the startups are looking for funding. They are looking for funding, okay. So their main focus is how do I get funding? Every startup, they say first I need to get funding, okay. Now let's say if some startup is able to get funding and they get this success here, the next step they do is they figure out how do I do fund management, because they have got money. Let's say 1
mm,
crore hits their bank account. Now they are figuring out how do I spend this money, how do I do the fund management, okay. Where all I can allocate this money, where all I can spend, what all do I
mm,
do, okay. And the third, the top of the triangle, that is customer acquisition. So the customer acquisition is the third bucket, okay.
mhm,
And
mhm,
that is something which I need to change. I need to tell startups that you need to change this. And what do we need to change is, again, look at the triangle from a different perspective, which is, first you need to focus on the strategy. So first is a strategy. What is your business strategy? What is your marketing strategy? What is your sales strategy? That is in the bottom of your triangle, okay. Do you have a good strategy? Are you focused on figuring out how do I go to the market, okay. And the next which comes is, um, using this strategy, can I acquire more and more customers, at least 5 paying customers? I need to test my strategy. I need to figure out whether my strategy is working or not. If not, I need to change my strategy till the time I hit at least 5 paying customers, okay.
mm,
That's the middle of the triangle. And on the top is, again, once we have got customers, now you look for funding, okay. So we change the way we look at the whole problem. Once you have a very very strong strategy, once you know that your strategy is working and you have paying customers, then the third thing is now getting funding. So that's a mindset that we need to bring in. So I will not go for funding till the time I have built my strategies right and I have got at least 3 to 5 paying customers. So once that is done, that is when you can go for funding, and that's a shift in the mindset. That is what I called as the growth mindset. Now, as I mentioned, this cannot be addressed in just one session. So I
right.
have
So
touched
let's
two very very key important points,
right. So
and let me
we learned.
summarize that. The first
Yes.
important point is,
Yeah.
where do I fall? Do I fall in category A, category B, or the third category where I'm very very serious? I want to build my company, come what may. I want to make it successful. And the second important parameter is that, when do I look for funding? Do I first focus on strategy, business growth, acquiring at least 3 to 5 customers, and then then only approach for funding? Because that's the change in the mindset. And the rest of the things we will discuss in the next episode. So
Right.
that's about from my side.
So thank you so much. So guys, as you saw, like we
Thank
learned
you
a
so
lot of
much.
things. Yeah, we learned a
Take
lot of
care and
things
bye bye.
now. So now I want to know about what you think. What do you think about what we learned today? Now you spoke about different categories. What do you think now? I want to know. This is all about your episode. So I want to know about what you think about what we learned in what we discussed in this episode. Right. So if you found this episode valuable, please share this with your friends and family. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss further episodes. So saying that, because considering time, I have to end this as soon as possible. So thank you so much and have fun.